I had a moment of heavy nostalgia today when I was talking to Kayla. We're talking about our road trip because we're going to Seattle tomorrow. Oh. I was talking about like when we were kids, like my parents had one of those leather folios, you know, with like the lined paper inside in the car in the back pocket of the Impala.
Printed directions.
Well, no, so that it was just lined paper, and they wrote down like which rest stops and like mile markers and where stuff was.
Oh wow!
And then we had one of the you remember the things that went on the visor that you put the CDs in, like you slid the CDs in a little visor.
Yes.
Thing that you Velcroed on. And then we would do the car trips, and we would always listen to the same rotation of, I'm pretty sure, Journey's Greatest Hits, a Bryan Adams album called 18 Till I Die. I think that's what it is. And the Dixie Chicks CD.
Was it the one with Landslide?
I think it was their like main CD, which had Landslide and Wide Open Spaces.
Oh yeah, Wide Open Spaces. You know, they just call it Chicks now.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and over there's Brandon.
That's me.
You can find us online at namely90s.com or on Twitter and Instagram at namely90s with a 90s. You can also find the show on YouTube every Monday at youtube.com/@namely90s. And finally, if you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/namely90s with a 90s and get signed up for one of our support levels. Bring in the energy. Bring in the funk. Bring in the noise.
The Funk Master Flash.
Yeah. Wait, is that what you look like?
What?
I have glasses now, so I can actually see what's going on on the screen.
I think you're looking sharp. You're looking very like middle-aged hipster.
Perfect.
And you can check that out at youtube.com/.
I just need an $8 latte.
Yes. I believe they're $12 now.
Seriously.
Yeah. So we're recording this on the day that our former president got arrested. Yeah.
No, he didn't, though.
No, he didn't. Do you want to know why? Because he made the rumor up himself.
No, I think it's like happening next week or something.
Yeah.
I think the government was too busy beaming mRNA directly into us via 5G towers.
Oh, yeah. Can't.
Now that the entire world's been poisoned by mRNA, which is literally already inside of your body.
Right. It's the ridiculousness to which people don't actively refuse to try to understand what we understand of science.
Myrna, that's a woman's name, isn't it? No. Myrna.
I believe you're thinking of the Disney princess Mieta.
Yeah, that's right. The federal government is inside you. That's what they're.
They're
like, what
always
are they putting in
inside
there?
You. Yeah. Like they're already watching you and surveilling you. Why would they need to be inside you?
I mean, I know this is a little bit like last week, but I still can't get over the person that's like, there was someone who said, I'm just worried that with all the runs on all the banks, it's like, you mean the three banks?
The three small banks?
So by all you mean
FDIC insured?
Three. Or as I like to call it, the F-dick. Anyway.
Okay, so since we're going into attack mode already, I went to karaoke last week. And I already told you about this off air, but so like everyone was there having a good time. It was a little bit more red side of town, so like there was a lot of older people there wearing cowboy boots and singing country songs. And
isn't it ironic that red is the color of communism?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Or that somehow blue is no longer is no longer an acceptable American color, except if it's combined with two other colors.
Less ironic, red was also the color the Nazis used for the most part.
Red, white, and black. So, and if you remove blue from your color palette,
it's a sunburned zebra.
Just saying. Sunburned zebra. Anyway, everyone was having a good time. Like, there's a mix of songs going on, and then this drunk lady signed her husband up. Apparently, they were visiting their college-age daughter at that lib school that I live near, and which again, it's half engineers, half
like ag people.
Yeah. So it's like it's not even that. And he gets up there and he's just like sheepishly like, I'm sorry, my wife's been drinking. She signed me up for this song. I told her I didn't want to sing it.
But here I am anyway, because I have literally no testes.
So I had no idea what was going on. I'm just like, yeah, go whatever your name is, guy. And
little did you know.
Yeah. And then she yells, this is a song for all of us real Americans. And I was just like, God damn it. And it goes into this like super like mega anthem about like leaving the blues dead in the street was one of the lines. Another line was my pronouns are USA or something like that. And it was just like this entire, it was just everything out of their playbook made into this hokey song. And then I noticed the guy running karaoke is singing backup vocals, and I'm just like,
how did people know of this song? Like, I've never.
No one else knew. Like everyone else's face is soured.
Have we heard? Have we figured out what the song is? Who it's by?
I want to say it said Dwight Yoakam, but I don't think it was.
Dwight Yoakam's like 1,000 years old.
But I think this guy is actually coming to the local casino, because when I was there over the weekend, there's this guy coming and he's all about freedom. He's a country artist and he has like freedom tattooed on his chest.
But it's not Toby Keith.
It is not Toby Keith. No. It was just like, God, this song. And like the wife got drunk and stumbled up there and started singing it too. And it's like, come on, everyone knows this song. And I'm just like, I'm hearing this song for the first time. And I'm just sitting there with my eyes wide thinking, why? Like, why would you try to politicize a good time that everyone's having, and now everyone has to think about the political divide going on in the bar? And then after they were done, they sit back down behind me, and I hear her say, if no one was singing along because half of these people are liberals and they're afraid and the other half are afraid to show their true colors. And the husband just like, my daughter goes to Poly, and she would have been embarrassed to have me up there singing, would have pulled me off the stage. I'm like, yes, I would have done that had I not seen half the bar would probably attack me for it.
So what I found by researching this just a little bit is there is a whole genre of like ultra, like alt-right rock.
Yeah.
This person has Gucci Glock, Greatest Lie Ever Sold, MAGA Boys.
Oh, that was it. I think that might have been it. Greatest Lie Ever Sold.
Oh, yeah. This is by Douchey hold on. Greatest Lie Ever Sold.
That sounds familiar. I think that's might have been what it was called. But I was just
Tyson James.
That sounds right. I think that was it. Yeah. It was just like the lyrics. Every lyric made my blood boil further.
Oh no, I don't want Spotify. Oh God, don't play it.
And it was.
Oh, he's holding a gun in his.
Let's see if I can find the lyrics on this.
I'm actually having a hard time finding them, probably because they're horribly offensive.
Maybe it wasn't then, because he was. He looks like a rapper.
Could be. Yeah. Anyway.
This might not be it. I'm pretty sure they didn't say the word Klan at one point.
Well, moving on. Yeah. What a nightmare. Gucci Glock. I'm never gonna forget that.
Jesus. Yeah, please delete that from my search history.
Now streaming on 5G.
Yeah,
you goddamn hypocrites.
I can't wait for that to populate my targeted ads.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I also made you watch the new trailer. It's technically not even out yet. That was ripped off of one of the cast members' Instagrams. But the new trailer for Once and Always, a Power Rangers special, reunion special. And I'm not gonna lie, when they did It's Morphin Time and then the lightning came down and the clank sound happened, I got
Did
goosebumps.
you tear up a bit?
I got goosebumps, and yeah, it so it looks like the plot is because the actress who played Trini, the original Yellow Ranger, she died in like the early 2000s in a car accident. So it looks like the plot is she gets killed by a new Rita Repulsa in a metal body or something, and they have to go back in time to prevent Rita from screwing up the timeline or something. I don't know. It looks like I'll watch it.
Like all the cast has walkers just off to the side of the stage.
They were like probably 20 years old when we were 5.
Right. About 30 years ago.
Yeah. So they're all over 50, I want to say. Yeah, they're looking a little old.
They all live in like a little retirement home and they're leotards.
Hey, I will watch. In another 30 years, I will also watch that reunion special if I'm alive. And yeah, but I think it looks good. And your thoughts, since I made you watch it?
Yeah,
it looks bad.
It was interesting to see like in an updated sort of like cinematography, but then still the cheesy cinematography when they're like morphing.
Yep.
It was, yeah.
That's fun. Well, speaking of Power Rangers, we're still doing the Ferbdon thing, aren't we?
Yeah.
Let's summon Ferbdon from the almighty Jewel.
Which version of the movie is better, the original or the reboot? Compare and contrast the two versions, then explain why you think one is better than the other.
How fortuitous that I just found this trailer right before we started. What Zordon is trying to say, Ferbdon, trying to say is I think he wants us to do a new segment that I'm going to be calling Boot or Reboot, where I'm going to show you, Andrew, a trailer for a classic 90s film that also has got some sort of reboot or late sequel or spin-off or remake or whatever. And you, Andrew, you will have to determine which you would rather watch, which is going to be interesting because you hate movies that look old. Yes, I do. However, yes, we have this uncanny ability in Hollywood to really ruin movies that we try to remake. Right. So it will be interesting. And I thought of this while originally this week's Naming 90s Minute was going to be on Point Break because Keanu Reeves is in that new action movie, John Wick 4. Have you watched any of the John Wick movies? No, actually I haven't. I've heard they're good though. Me too. Like I haven't seen any, but I heard they're good and are worth a watch. But yeah, let's get this going. Hopefully I can play this over Zoom or else. I think you have to do a screen share. I do have to do a screen share, which is this one. And click this button and maybe we'll cut this out. Share sound this time. Here we go. Oh, sorry.
It's the ultimate rush.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
Not even sex.
And then tell me.
We are the ex-president.
So, if at any point you want to pause for this trailer,
I think you can just go ahead and play it.
Okay.
It's total commitment. It's a real thin line between life and death.
I'm not a crook.
It's not tragic to die doing what you love. If you want the ultimate, You gotta be willing to pay the ultimate price.
That's Patrick Swayze.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and please don't forget to vote.
They're wearing
You want to nail the bank robbers and
president's
be a big
masks.
hero. Definitely. The ex-presidents are surfers.
You're trying to tell me the FBI is going to pay me to learn to surf?
That's a line. That's a line.
Why does young Keanu Reeves look like that Milo Ventimiglia guy?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Milo Ventimiglia or whatever his name is. The guy from This Is Us and briefly that show where like they lost all the what was that show? Where, like,
Lost.
No, there was like some electricity monster that would like hurt
Lost?
people. I don't know. No. Anyway, that's who he looked like. People know. If you know what This Is Us is.
Fear.
Yeah, I don't have a wife.
Hesitation will cause your worst fears to come true.
He'll take you to the edge. Past it.
This is gonna be a great day, Johnny.
The taxpayers of
Johnny Utah.
They knew that they were paying a federal agent to surf and pick up girls.
Babes.
Big one.
The correct term.
Oh, it's the guy from
sir.
Scrubs.
It is.
Why are his eyes so wide?
See, Dr. Cox. And also, that's Gary Busey at one point.
Dr. Cox was the name of my podiatrist as a child.
That's unfortunate. Oh, they just...
You just fire a gun up in the air and go, ah.
Yes, so that's the famous thing where Keanu's like he can't, or sorry, Johnny Utah is like chasing him down, and he's like he has the shot as Swayze's running away, but he can't do it, so he just turns up to the air and starts firing, yelling. Yeah,
and of course I'm referencing the movie Hot Fuzz, where Nick Frost references this that scene.
Yep, exactly. I'm glad you remember that.
Pure adrenaline.
Oh yeah.
Does either one of you have anything even remotely
How many times
interesting
are they
to
going to
tell?
show the title?
My first tube this morning, sir.
Okay, so that was the 1991 trailer. Let's see. If
Buckle up.
Let's see if this will cooperate. It will not. Okay, so I'm gonna have to stop the share on this one, which is sorry, I gotta get better at this.
Oh, you said screen share, not share. Got it.
That's the thing you said. Stop share. Okay. And new share.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Okay, so where is it?
Here we go.
There's some who do not fear death.
This is the
They're more afraid of not really living.
It's doing. Oh, there it is. It was doing something weird.
I was moving it.
What kind of people are we dealing with here?
Let me know if it's too loud for you.
That's fine. I mean, already, obviously, the production value is better, but like,
is it though? Like, look at that washed out filter.
Yeah, but that's like a stylistic choice.
We're in a poor country, so everything has to be washed out.
It's better than whoever does CSI Miami. They're like, which filter should we use? Let's go with orange again.
Well, yeah, but like CSI New York was gray, and Vegas
CSI New York, they just left the lens cap on. I'm pretty sure.
Skill set. Utah, I need a theory.
So why not deploy your chute above the jungle and escape like a normal person?
Because I'm thinking these aren't normal people, sir.
We're both shaking our heads.
What is this facility? Like, that's not what government facilities look like, I should say.
I believe that's their FBI facility.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no drop ceiling or like fluorescent lighting.
Although now they're like in a CIA, because if it's international, isn't it a CIA thing, right?
I think there is like an FBI international sort of group. Their jurisdiction has to do with certain things, but it's like basically like 80% of federal buildings are made of asbestos. They don't look cool.
That's true. Yep.
Like the J. Edgar Hoover building is literally falling down. Anyway, moving on.
These robberies are extreme athletes, using their skills to disrupt the international financial markets. And they don't care who gets killed in the process.
They call me Bodhi.
What is this music?
This Christmas, the movie no one asked for.
I get trying to. Also, I thought that was Kristen Stewart in this scene.
Why is this? It's like snowboarding Hell's Angels. I don't really get it.
It kind of like so we freeze framed on a scene of them holding hands around a table like it's a Fast and the Furious movie.
It's about family. The one guy. Family. It's funny that the guy who's undercover literally looks so out of place, like a sore thumb.
Yeah, well, he is the only blonde there.
I mean, it does look like there would be some white supremacy going on in this group too, by the way. Is that Post Malone in the forefront?
It is not, but it could be.
Okay.
Oh, God. But like just the two leads look nothing like Keanu or Swayze and do not hold either of their swaggers. No.
And the two with beard guys look like they're in that show. What was that show about? Like the Hell's Angels equivalent?
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. It's like, okay, Sons of Anarchy, calm down.
Oh my God.
$1 of gold on there.
You're gonna steal it?
No, we're going to liberate it.
That was the lamest thing I've ever heard. We're going to liberate it.
This just reminds me of like the Miami Vice movie. Like
you're gonna it's a mine. You're gonna go mine it like after dark. How long is that gonna take?
Yeah. Plus also getting the gold out of there. It's not like you could just paraglide with some gold bullion.
Yeah, it's not just like in a treasure chest. Okay, anyway. Cheesy.
Bad CG. Well, this is 2015.
You think your brothers.
True.
Show me whose side you're on. Criminal masterminds. They're just kids partying away their lives.
We can get these guys.
Lives?
I just need more time.
I just need more time.
Gotta give me more time.
They're squirrel suiting down.
Tony, do you have any idea?
But they look like air mattresses. I'm just gonna say.
I mean, that's what those look like. I think possibly. Sure. And now they're on a waterfall, and he's trying to stop Bodhi. What do you think's going to happen?
He's gonna jump off.
How is he gonna jump off, or is he just gonna do the Jesus Christ fall?
The Jesus Christ fall.
Yeah.
How many laws you've broken?
The only law that matters is gravity.
Stop!
The only law that matters is gravity.
So bad. Okay.
Wait, can you show these because are they copyright protected?
That's the whole reason I said tell me when you want to pause. So I think I cut it up enough that it will be fine. And if not, we'll find out tomorrow when I upload this.
All right, so that was the thing we just did.
Called Boot or Reboot. Now, before Andrew gets his piece in, I would like to point out just one thing. I like the Fast and Furious franchise, and I haven't watched the last 3 films, but I do like the first one and the relationship between Vin Diesel's character and Paul Walker's character. What
does it have to do with this, though?
Because Point Break, the 1991 Point Break, is essentially what Fast and the Furious was kind of based on. It's like they're criminals, but they also street race. There's the undercover. Yeah, yes. There's the undercover cop. He ends up joining them, kind of. But then, yeah. So like, it's pretty much a very similar movie. I haven't seen all of the original Point Break, but I've seen a lot of people compare it to Fast and the Furious. Whereas this 2015 reboot, I don't think it was based on anything other than the names Bodhi and Johnny Utah.
And so I have to tell you which trailer I prefer, essentially.
You have to tell me, if I was to force you, if you were in a position where you would die if you didn't watch one of these two movies, you have to tell me which movie you would watch.
I mean, in terms of the trailer, I'd prefer a U-Haul trailer to these two hot messes.
Sure.
Yeah. Ooh. I think the reboot is plagued by bad acting, cheesy CG, and kind of a weak storyline that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So for that reason, even though it looks visually more appealing, all of those things are so off-putting that I have to go with the original.
Nice.
You know?
Nice.
I do.
And that's the successful end to our first boot or reboot. Andrew's chosen the boot. The original.
We unboot it?
Yeah.
Like that.
And now we can move to the Namely 90s Minute.
And now let's go to Brandon for the Namely 90s Minute.
Welcome after our mid-episode break, Namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of March Madness ending, we're looking back at the greatest 90s basketball movie ever, Air Bud. Air Bud is a 1997 sports comedy film starring FBI agent Brendan Akers from The Rookie, Feds, Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle from Elmo's World, Sister Mary Robert from Sister Act, the manager from The Bodyguard, the principal from Porky's, Porky's 2 The Next Day, and Porky's Revenge, Krampus from Violent Night, and Air Buddy as himself. The story starts with a kid named Josh moving with his mom and sister to Fernfield, Washington after his father died. He plays basketball by himself and meets a runaway dog who is abused by an alcoholic party clown. The dog is able to shoot hoops, so the boy takes him home and names him Buddy. At school, the boy joins the basketball team despite being bullied by the team's captain, and at a game one day, Buddy shows up and makes a basket to the crowd's delight. The coach gets fired after emotionally abusing one of the children on the team, so they replace him with a local former pro player and maintenance engineer who is nice to the kids at some point in the movie. Buddy becomes the team's mascot and performs at halftime shows, and the mean captain of the team is transferred to a different rival school because his dad didn't like the new coach not giving his son enough playtime or something like that. The clown shows up and takes back Buddy to profit off of his new popularity. The school's team struggles at the finals because of the lack of Buddy, but then Buddy shows up and is allowed to play on the team because there's no rule against a dog playing basketball. And they win. The clown sues for possession of Buddy, but the coach is able to pull some strings with the judge and have the dog choose who he wants to be with outside of the courthouse. So Buddy attacks the clown and chooses his new family. And that's Air Bud in a Namely 90s Minute. More or less.
And now back to the show.
All right. It's welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed the March Madness quotely for Air Bud. Not Golden Receiver, the original Air Bud.
Golden Receiver.
Which I also little behind the scenes thing. I said Golden Receiver instead of Golden Retriever when I was recording, so now it just says dog.
It's called Bark Madness, by the way.
Ooh, Bark Mad. Is that actually a thing?
Probably somewhere.
Oh, if it's not, we should do it now. But yeah, let's we have a Quotely 90s from our friends at the Insanely Dangerous Retro Podshow. Gaz and Dange, which is something that we do for them on a weekly basis, and they're kind enough to do once a month for us on one of our variety shows where, you know what? Let's just let them explain.
Our last performance was just ghastly. I get it.
We've not won yet, but let's see if we can turn the tides. Let's let them explain how this all works.
First 25 seconds of music.
Yep, but your mic's still hot.
I know.
Well, to be fair, we do the same thing because.
Oh, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
That's how we were told to do it. This is like the.
They have a longer format, so it's different. We're a short format show.
They have so this is like some sort of sports quiz show theme song.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like if we played the Jeopardy music.
Exactly.
Hey there, Brandon and Andrew. It's Gaz and Dange
from
the ITRP, your brother horseman in this retro apocalypse.
Today we have a little quiz for you. A memory game, if you will, that Gaz has randomly named quoting IDs.
Oh, it's changing.
This week we're sending you a quote and see if you can guess its origins from some piece of pop culture from the 90s.
Just remember, our worlds weren't as interconnected then, as we lived across the pond and the internet still ran on coal.
We'll also, because we're copying you, do multiple readings and either do poor imitations of the character/person who said it, or poor imitations of whoever we feel like.
And if you're lucky, you'll hear me, Dange, slip into my terribly offensive English accent.
Is that enough of a setup for you, lads? Are you ready for Quotely 90s?
Name the movie and, if possible, the character that said this. Bonus points for the actor.
Ooh, yeah, why can't you put the bunny back in the box?
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
Well, let me tell you something, buddy. Why couldn't you just put the bunny back in the box?
Why can't you just put the bunny back in the box?
Why couldn't you just put the bunny back in the box?
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
I tell you, why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
Oh, why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
Okay. Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box? Any clue? It sounds familiar.
It's difficult to discern whether it's like comedic or possibly some kind of like a metaphor.
Mm.
You know,
the Schwarzenegger one spoke to me for some reason. Also,
there's some kind of like a magician movie from the 90s. Like, no, I don't think that would be it.
Well, so okay. Well, first of all, kudos to Gaz and Dange. This is the third one we've done, I think, and they're starting to make it their own versus our version, which is really fun. And why couldn't my first instinct, my first bug or bunny, what idea would be Space Jam.
Ooh, Space Jam.
Because of Bugs Bunny, comma, upon thinking about it, upon hearing it, do you remember the sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids?
I always assumed that meant the kids exploded, but yes, I'm familiar with it.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. So it's the sequel. It's from 1992. And I think he talked about the kid. So the toddler gets blown up to giant size, but I feel like there's something about putting a bunny in a box in that one.
Okay.
Does that ring any bells?
No. Who would be the actor? The kid?
Oh, that's a good point.
Who's the guy? The dad?
The dad in that is
that guy who like left
Rick Moranis.
Acting. Yeah, Rick Moranis.
Yep. But could it be Bugs Bunny, or could it be someone? Could it be Bill Murray in Space Jam talking about Bugs Bunny?
I don't remember that. I mean, I watched Space Jam quite a few times.
That's true.
But did he ever go into a box?
Not that I remember.
Did someone try shutting him in a box because like they were in denial that he was there?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like, doesn't Michael Jordan get kind of like freaked out?
Right? Yes, either MJ or Bill Murray. Well, Bill Murray just shows up because he knows the director.
But are the bunnies like are the Looney Tunes in that like ghosts, like apparitions, like they don't actually have any mass or form?
No.
Or do they actually exist in space?
They have mass, but you can also shove them into things.
True.
I don't know. It's not speaking to me.
No.
Now I'm thinking why are these so hard? They always know them too. I hate the ones that we do. They always know. I think we've stumped them maybe like 3 times.
Yeah, this is really hard. That's what she said. Boy.
Let's see. Why did I put the bunny back in the box?
Why don't you put the bunny back in the box?
Well, isn't that, or why didn't we put the bunny back in the box?
I can't remember the quote. Well, I'd say I'm stumped.
I recall something about a rabbit or a bunny or something in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. So let's go Rick Moranis.
As the dad from that movie, whose name I don't know.
Yeah. And if it's Space Jam, I'm going to scream.
Moranis is his last name.
Moranis. Sorry.
This could have been more 90s if it was wearing hammer pants and a bomber jacket.
It was long
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
Was said by Nick Cage as Cameron Poe in the 1997 summer blockbuster and my favourite movie of all time almost, Con Air.
You just watched it.
I just watched it. Should be executed for crimes against cinema in relation to this film's dialogue. However, it's pretty hard to hate this film, and I've tried.
If you want to hear more about the adventures of a wrongly convicted Nick Cage on a plane full of baddies, then tune in next week as we will cover it on the show.
Find it on your platform of choice at the insanely dangerous Retro Podshow. Now, let's send it right back over to the bunny stealing, tea party loving Brandon the Handgun, and insert criminal name here, Andrew.
Ouch.
That's what it was. It was Nick Cage's.
Every time I hear Con Air, I think of the hair dryer company. But anyway.
Okay. The worst part is I was channel surfing at the hotel I was at this weekend for disc golf, and Con Air was starting. I'm like, I hate the fact that I ever could recognize that this is Con Air from the intro to that movie where it's like just raining outside and his wife gets assaulted by someone that he then murders. But it was before Nick Cage was on the screen. I'm just like, oh, this movie looks, it's Con Air.
Moranis.
But no, God. At least they're doing ones that one of us would know. It's just not ingrained. I think the age gap is working against us.
Yeah, true. Makes sense that it would.
Yeah, it's an iconic quote. I heard it. I just couldn't place it. Last month's was probably even easier for me. Should have got that one. This one, we're gonna get one of these one time.
One day.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna happen.
Well, do you want to call it there, or do you want to do a BuzzFeed quiz?
How long is the quiz?
6 questions.
Let's do the quiz.
Okay. We're going to be doing, and there's a link to this in our description, so you can do it yourself. It is everyone is a character played by Keanu Reeves. Which one are you? And yeah, strange things are afoot at the Circle K. This was a BuzzFeed quiz submitted by Freddie Apperly, a community contributor, and it was approved and edited by the BuzzFeed community team. First off, choose a puffy.
There's like what looks like a little poodle, a Labrador, a chocolate Labrador, Maltese, a Corgi, an Australian Shepherd, and a Pomeranian.
Oh, that's not a husky. That makes more sense.
No, I'm gonna go with the cute little poodle thing.
I'm gonna pick the Aussie. I like those Australian Shepherds. Choose an upcoming movie. This was from 2019, I think.
Not upcoming.
It Chapter 2, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, the live-action Lion King, which isn't live action because it's animated, Hobbs and Shaw, which is a Fast and the Furious movie, or side movie, Joker, which is Andrew's favorite movie, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Well, I've seen 2 of these.
I'm gonna go with Star Wars.
Okay, Andrew's going Star Wars. I'm going to go with Joker because I saw that in theaters and it was halfway decent. You're up.
Choose a Disney song. The Bare Necessities. I'll Make a Man Out of You. You Got a Friend in Me. Friend Like Me. Be our guest in Circle of Life.
Why did I always think it was like bears and BEAR?
That was the joke.
Right. But
I think I'm going Circle of Life.
Then I will go Randy Newman with You Got a Friend in Me.
You got a friend in me.
Choose a city. London, Tokyo, Cairo, Rome, New York, or Paris.
I don't really like leaving the country, so I'm going New York.
I just ate at a Japanese restaurant and I would like to go to Tokyo and eat more food.
Choose an animated show. Rick and Morty, South Park, DuckTales, Family Guy, The Simpsons, and BoJack Horseman.
Ooh, all good choices. Currently, I think I like Rick and Morty best, but I've watched all of these.
Going Family Guy, as expected.
And finally, choose an ice cream flavor. Salted caramel, mint chocolate chip, vanilla, strawberry, mango, or chocolate.
Chocolate.
Just to liven things up, I'll pick salted caramel.
All right, you want to read first?
Sure. God damn it. I got Ted Logan of Bill and Ted fame.
Wow.
You're Ted Logan, a high school student whose music will one day save the planet in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
And now I feel like I have to watch it. I got John Wick.
Awesome.
But like, how are they deciding? You're John Wick, a ruthless hitman that comes out of retirement to kick major butt in John Wick.
Well, so I don't remember which John Wick movie it is, but one of them they kill his dog, and that's why he massacres everyone.
Reasonable.
Yeah. And it might have been the puppy that you picked.
Could be.
I don't know.
Well, there you go.
It. Yeah. That's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. Remember, you can find new episodes out every Monday. Join us next week for a deep dive episode on what I do not know. Actually, I do know. Next week, I believe, is Mario related. And find us on Twitter and Instagram at Namely90s with 90s, or find our personal accounts. No, we don't do Twitter anymore. So tell us what you want us to talk about in future episodes on our Instagram account. If you'd like to support the show, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Namely90s, also with 90s. Finally, you can contact us through our website, Namely90s.com. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, I Know Kung Fu, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeart, Good Pods, and wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm Brandon, that's Andrew, and we'll catch you next time.
Boom, headshot. No, just kidding.